What's up, people, and welcome back. This is episode 4 of Small Talk. If you're new here, my name is Justin Lamar Carter, and I am a freelance director, DP, and photographer based in the Washington, D.C. area. And if you followed the series last time, we were talking about the pros of living in Los Angeles as a filmmaker. Today, I kind of want to take a step back and talk about the reality of the grind and what you need to do to flourish in the City of Angels. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the reality of hustling out in LA as a filmmaker. Number one, come equipped, come prepared. Literally, don't move out here with $1 in a dream. Do not do that. That would set you up for failure in some ways. Now, mind you, you will hear stories about people that move basically with nothing. Personally, I think I moved out there with about $10,000 I had saved up, and this really put me in a position to win when it came to figuring out my life and what to do and what not to do while in Los Angeles. When I first moved to LA, I was fortunate enough to have a friend that allowed me to stay on his couch for 30 days, and literally the last day of that 30-day period, I got approved for an apartment, and luckily it was in the same building down the hallway, so I was able to move all my stuff that I moved in and start my life in Los Angeles right down the hall from a good friend. But I really want to talk about how, this is not everyone's scenario. It kind of seemed like a dream scenario for me, but there's plenty of people I've known or friends with that were homeless at some point, sleeping in cars, just doing whatever they could to survive, out there. Homelessness is a really big issue in Los Angeles, so being able to survive and take care of yourself is a very big thing to do. I actually advise, single new filmmakers to the area and whatnot to get roommates and split the cost, of living out there. You're going to take jobs that sometimes are unpaid. You're going to take jobs that are very low paying. You're going to take jobs that this is not what you want your career to be, but this is where you have to start. And you must keep that in mind when you're out in LA. Another thing you're going to have to deal with is rejection, ghosting, and imposter syndrome. These things will happen, and all of these things happened to me while I was out there. So these are just some things that you have to deal with, and it kind of leads me into my next topic. Since we're on the topic of leveling up and glowing up, I wanted to share with you guys my latest glow up. It is using audio for all my audio and sound design needs. Whether I am scoring a short film, a doc, or even this series, Small Talk, audio gives me access to a full library of cinematic, royalty-free tracks that actually match the mood I'm going for. The best part, one flat price, unlimited music and sound effects, no weird licensing drama, no per project fees. So if you're a filmmaker, content creator, or just someone editing a personal project, audio is that cheat code for you. I dropped the link in the description so you can check it out, and if you use my code, you get a discount on your subscription. Alright, now back to the glow up. So this is just some of the lessons I have from my grind out there. One of the big things that I struggled with was basically transitioning from, I guess more so being a videographer to actual DP, and finding myself working director of photography jobs more, jobs where we had production design, jobs where we had gaffers, where we had budgets for a proper film set. To this day, every set, you don't get what you want. It's just something that we deal with as DPs. But being resilient allowed me to overcome, the shortcomings of what we were able to do and what we weren't able to do on set. Just to give you guys an example, lighting on a budget, not having money for an actual legit lighting truck or a grip truck or whatever you name it, not having a budget for a second AC to help with the first AC's duties or to dump footage, not having a DIT budget, not having a VTR, when you absolutely know you need it for playback and Video Village, but the client doesn't want to pay for it. So these type of things are the struggles that I dealt with a lot, when I was grinding out in Los Angeles. These things as a DP would test you, and in my opinion, they test you in the best way. In the Marine Corps, they said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. And I feel like it's the same thing for a DP. Everybody has a plan until you don't have a plan, and you have to come up with a new plan. I was on Threads recently, and another DP had mentioned how he had set up an interview setup for someone, and a recurring client of his that was a pretty famous musician, and they had set everything up, and the musician came in and he was like, hey, we can't film here, we're about to practice here. So him and the producer had to scramble and find another location. And a lot of people would panic. And when you first starting off, you might panic, but as a seasoned DP and filmmaker, these are the things that I believe this is where you make your money. This is where true creativity comes from, because you got to make a plan on the fly, and you got to figure out things fast without panicking. And these situations teaches you how to be creative in a different way. So these are the lessons from the grind that that make or break you. Also, one more thing, telling stories with limited resources. Man, this is why I love Los Angeles right here, is because there are so many filmmakers in Los Angeles, from directors to DPs to writers to producers to photographers and whatnot. Everybody out there. None of us really have a ton of money. There are some people that make great money, but we're often, navigating limited resources. So it teaches you how to be creative and resilient in a different way. So yeah, just another thing that helps you along the way. With all that being said, you just gotta know, LA is definitely gonna test you before it blesses you. It's just how it goes, man. Everybody pays their dues in LA. You learn the culture. It's a West Coast thing, SoCal thing. It's an LA thing, man. So you're gonna grind, and as you grind, you'll figure it out. You'll meet amazing people on the way, and you'll learn plenty of lessons. So that brings me to my next topic. LA is definitely a long game, man. You just gotta understand, man, all your grinding, all the struggles, all the sacrifices of comfort, all these things are going to pay off in the long term. You just gotta stay the course. There is so much value in showing up, being consistent, and building authentic relationships in Los Angeles. I can't speak highly enough of that part about building authentic relationships. Whoever made the quote, "Your net worth is your network," was speaking the gospel, because you need to build authentic relationships. I know personally, I work with a lot of the same crew out there, and I, as a DP and director and just a filmmaker, love working with the same crew. I love bringing in new people too and trying different things, but for the most part, we definitely always work with the same people. Sometimes you have a different role, but you do things for the people that you love and you love to work with, and whether that is bringing them on for a BTS job or having them PA, even though they're not PAs, right? But you just understand the value of being able to give someone a payday, because it's hard to live in Los Angeles, and when you build authentic relationships, people always come back around and make sure you're taken care of. Another thing that comes along with that is, you build trust with clients and talent and whatnot by being consistent, and them knowing that they can consistently get the end product from you every time, because you show up on time, you are professional, you have great set etiquette, and you just make a good product. On top of that, hard work and determination and consistency will beat talent every time. Don't ever forget that. One last thing I want to touch on this subject is stop chasing shortcuts. Shortcuts is the longest way to your destination. Take the long way, take all the lessons, enjoy the journey. So that concludes episode 4 of Small Talk. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about how I built my network in Los Angeles. If you enjoyed this, please drop a comment and tell us about your glow up story, about when you moved from city to city and some of the struggles that you had. Let's encourage everyone and show them that the long path is the right path. And just to end it, if you're in it for the long game, I see you, I applaud you, and I'm here for you. Talk soon. Peace.